Well, hey everybody. Grammy Karen, dying at Justice Acres.
It's going to be loud.
Karen. Yes, every time.
It's not going to work.
Leatherwood Land, homesteading, engraving business and life. How are y'all?
There it goes.
Candy Crush ad.
I'm sorry.
Does everybody know the Candy Crush music? I think everybody should know that, huh?
All right, we got it. Are we buffering?
Matt and Sarah, did y'all get your raccoon taken care of? In the last video, we've not been able to get on many people's lives, and we are so far behind on all of our friends' videos because it's summer and it's crazy. But the last I had seen, y'all were having some major issues with getting your plants dug up.
Okay, so we're not buffering anymore. Did you say hey to everybody and not buffering?
I did, but
we said hello to everybody, but we might have been buffering.
Our kids are
JNC's Oregon Homestead.
Our kids are on a British bacon series.
Wait. It's not just the kids. It's actually us too.
We like it too. So it's this British bacon show, and it's
called the Great American. Not the Great American.
The Great British Bake Off or something like that.
The Great British Baking Show.
Something like that. Anyway, we've gotten
4 kids in a farm.
We have gotten into this series.
Hey, Walker Farm fam. Hey, Darlene.
X amount of people will come in, and then these like major. I mean, what would you call Martha and? I don't even know the guy's name. Do you remember the guy's name?
It's
Paul. Martha and Paul.
It's not Martha. Her name's not Martha. It's Mary Berry.
Is it Mary?
Yeah, Mary.
Okay, so anyway, and then they're the judge. And these people, they cook like sponge cakes. I mean,
they just cook a lot of fat people food.
These British biscuits, and like they have to, like they'll give them a challenge, and then they'll go through and taste every person's challenge, and then they'll do like 3 challenges for the week. And then they'll eliminate one at a time. And it's just really fun to watch because these people, I mean, there's like a builder or like a contractor on there. He's like really good. He's a really good baker. And he's held on. He's like in the last 4. But anyway, they'll give them these challenges and they go cook these big fancy cakes and all kinds of stuff.
It's like a PBS show that we found on Netflix, so now we love it.
It's really fun to watch, though. We love those bacon shows. Yeah, so
Paul's my favorite. No doubt.
Our kids got addicted to watching it, so then we went and looked up to see if we could find the series, and it's just a lot of fun to watch. Some of just like average people will go in and they get so creative, and some like come from a background of baking and pastries and stuff like that. But anyway, it's a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, we've been watching it like every night after we get in.
But I said all that to say we're using a lot of internet to stream all these shows. So that might have been why we were buffering some in the beginning, because we had some storms come through this afternoon, but they're pretty much gone.
Hey, Larry. Hey, Grammy Karen. You already said hey, Grammy Karen.
I did.
Try to catch up too.
We had a lady and her mother drive a good ways. That when Peppa has her babies again in 3 months, they wanted to go ahead and pay the deposit and lock their babies in. So they come up and we were walking around outside. I was kind of showing them Peppa and George, which is the mom and the dad, and we still have 2 of the babies, of course, that we were keeping. And that is when the first line of storms rolled in. Woo! Lightning was popping all around us. The bottom fell out. It was little. My dog jumped. My big, huge, Great Pyrenees. If y'all don't know what a big Pyrenees is, she's 120 pounds at least.
She's about 150 pounds.
And she never does this, but she was shaking, and the lady and her mom went to leave. And Hattie Mae jumped. Did I tell you that? Yeah. Hattie Mae jumped in their car. And then when I was trying to get her out, she ran to the back, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" That was
random big monster dog.
I mean, she like comes up to my hips, and I couldn't pick her up. So thankfully the lady kind of got on the other side, and I pushed and she pulled, and we finally got her out. But she was scared of the weather.
Yeah, it's gotten bad weather here. We actually have a major storm coming in next week, which is part of that hurricane that's in the
had storms yesterday, crushed with plants I had in the garden. Ours have managed to do okay.
Yeah.
However, y'all saw us mention storms and the
tropical storm. It's not hurricane. Yeah.
Yeah, but it is moving up our way, and we're gonna have, I think, some probably major flooding off of that. We're getting is it the
northeast side? We're actually getting the worst side.
Yeah, I meant the east part of the storm, and so I'm a little concerned about that. What kind of rainfall and wind and all we're going to get. So in just this evening with the storm that blew through, lightning was popping everywhere. And it rained a good bit, but our garden needed it. But it put just some of our tomatoes down that we had to go back out there and stand up.
What's up, Tim? How are you, man?
So I'm a little concerned about, hey, Stacy, you're pretty close to us. I'm a little concerned about how much rain we're going to get.
Bad thing is we actually have a farm sitter coming next week. And so we're going to kind of show them around, and hopefully they'll do okay when it comes to milking a little bit. So they're going to learn how to milk well. And that way it kind of helps us. If we need to go places, they'll be around. Thank you, Douglas Satterley.
Thank you so much. That was very, very
very nice.
Yes.
Man, there's nothing fun about getting a tractor stuck. It's just nothing fun.
Well, I will say this. Valley. I was outside all day today. My kids were with Colby's mom. She had some of the other grandchildren, and she got them all together to play. And I've had a really, really, really rough week with just the nausea and stuff. So I've been so far. Actually, Aiden had to water my greenhouse for me yesterday.
Good job, Leatherland.
Do y'all see that face? He went out there with the water hose.
Destroyed.
I think I have very little soil left in almost all of my pots because he didn't put the sprayer on it. It was just, and I walked out there this afternoon to pick strawberries.
Mama called me. She was like,
do not send him in my greenhouse again.
I just glad it wasn't me.
All of the soil from almost all of my pots had been blasted out. Anyway, I have felt really, really good today. So I worked outside all day today from picking probably 4 quarts of blueberries.
Probably more than that.
I got my greenhouse. I got a lot of stuff transplanted. Hey, a lot of stuff transplanted in there. I had basil and that was getting root bound. I had tarragon, which is a form of herb planted.
Great, man. Watching it rain. How are y'all?
It was root bound. I transplanted it. I got 2 hornworms earlier, and then we found another one this afternoon. A lot of caterpillars. I went through a manual inspection through the whole garden, and if y'all know how many hundreds of tomato plants we have
a lot.
That was very time consuming. So I went through all of the tomatoes, pruned them all, gave the chickens some snacks, fed everything. So it was just really good to be able to get out and do some work this afternoon. And then I got rained on, which is why my hair is down tonight. I had to wash my hair before the live because I come in and I had been rained on twice.
We really don't get a lot of hornworms right now. Usually ours are a little bit deeper in the season, but we've noticed a lot more of those this start of the season. Southern black.
Does anybody else use a black light to find your hornworms? That is my next goal, is to get a black light. Because the little boogers are so hard to see. They're so close to the green of the tomatoes. Unless you find damage, you almost miss them. So we are looking to get a black light, and I'm going to have to walk through at night and try to make sure that we're not missing those. Slugs have been my issue this year, J&C Oregon's Homestead. I had slugs in my strawberries today in the greenhouse, so I sprinkled all of the soil, because they're in containers, with DE.
Oh my gosh, scorpions. No way.
Scorpions.
Terrible. I can't say no. We have snakes and spiders, but not scorpions.
Mm-mm. No, I don't think. I think I would rather have the spider than the scorpions. I can't complain about that. Mm-mm.
Yeah, we had a few caterpillars too. Not many, but a few.
Yeah, there were some caterpillars, mostly on the underside of the leaves, and I would see little tiny holes on my leaves, which it kind of gave me a hint. The hornworms are the really main problem. If anybody deals with,
the same way here.
If anybody deals with hornworms, you know that the little rascals can eat a tomato plant overnight. Ducks for slugs. We do have ducks, but we kind of keep them contained.
Our turkeys go everywhere.
Our turkeys have really helped. I saw a turkey. There was a bug crawling up one of the tomato sticks beside that netting out there, and I saw a turkey eating a bug off of that. But
thank you, Kim.
What's really cool about the turkeys is they have not been scratching.
That's right. Turkeys, Misty, every once in a while she don't like them just going around everywhere, but they have worked great where we're at. I mean, our turkeys they'll follow me around, and we'll go over the garden, they'll be at the garden. We'll walk over to the pigs, they'll be in the pigs. We'll walk on the porch, they won't be on the porch, they'll just be right next to it. And my dog just sits there, like y'all saw in that video. I mean, that's like every day. It's beautiful. I love them. I love them getting all over the yard.
I did tell him to get me a beer.
Hey, you know what he was saying? Yeah, I forgot to get that.
He was like, "You told me to get you a case." I was like, "Quit joking. I just need one." But hey, yes, I am planning on putting one in it, pouring it in a bowl and putting it under my strawberries at the bottom of those. And I have been told, we've never really had slug issues. I've been told that they're attracted to the yeast and then they'll get over in there and drown. I can't do ducks in the city. We do have ducks, but we like to keep them.
You know, our ducks are not our ducks are not too loud, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. They really are not that bad. They're beautiful. I love hearing them. I love hearing them when they do.
We have them for their eggs though. When they start laying,
hey, KBL,
to be able to get their duck eggs.
So. Yeah, definitely. Hey, TNS dogs.
But when the turkeys started getting out, I was a little panicking because the netting is so close to my strawberry patch and a lot of the tomatoes in our compost bed. And I told Colby, I'm going to be furious if they get over in that tomato bed and start eating the tomatoes and scratching everywhere. But I guess I didn't realize that turkeys don't scratch like chickens do. Like if you look at chickens,
so American. We are American. We're Southern too. That makes it even worse.
Chickens scratch everything. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's bark, if it's grass,
hey, Jeremy,
if it's dirt, they're going to go and scratch everything. The turkeys, I have not saw scratch anything.
No,
they don't scratch
they have not scratched anything.
They don't. And honestly, my second main concern was them coming up on the porches because they see us going in and out of the doors and pooping all over my porches. But they haven't. They don't get on the concrete. They'll come up here close to it, but they actually won't get on the concrete. So for right now, I'm not worried about them. But if they start causing me problems, we'll have to worry about them.
They've been really good. And what's so unique, we haven't lost. We have 2 sets of turkeys. So our turkeys stay with our ducks and chickens next to our orchard. Well, the only turkeys that get out is our heritage. All the bronze breasted, they're inside the netting. They don't go anywhere. So that we haven't lost any, even in these woods and all the things that we do. We have not lost any of our turkeys. So
just running off.
Yeah, just running off or getting hurt. I mean, the only thing we had damaged one was a hawk, and then we had one die, just kind of unexpected. But
yeah, and we've never had hawk issues.
And now we did all of a sudden.
Yeah, like in a day, it took a turkey and 2 chickens, and we walked out and saw it come down on a chicken, pinned it down, and literally shredded its neck. I mean, you're talking like
crazy
seconds. So that was
thank you for your life.
That was an experience there. So somebody had come over to our house and was talking about, you don't have hawks that come and mess with your chickens and stuff. We were like, no, we've never had hawk problems.
All of a sudden it happened.
And then like a week later, a hawk comes and kills 3. We won't have that problem anymore, though.
No. We took care of that. What's up?
The turkeys we had last
Sam?
year were great. No problems at all. Yeah, we have not. I cannot complain. At first, I was a little nervous about them getting out, what they were going to damage.
We did jinx it, Shawn, Alaska.
But they didn't.
Hey, Organic Raw Roots
They
Farms.
didn't. They have not bothered anything. I've been very happy with them.
Yeah, see, we've done open all the permaculture nets, and we've not had any issues. And all of a sudden, that, like I said, it was just.
It was like a week later. I had just got through telling. We don't have any hawk issues. We've never had any hawk issues. And then it was like, bam. And with the turkey, we went out and just found it dead. And we thought one of the toms had been kind of roughing them up.
Yeah.
So we thought, well, the tom
he may have just been too rough.
Yeah. So we didn't really, we were just like, well, and then we went out and saw the hawk, and it had killed a chicken. So we took it out, and I told Colby, I was like, it's going to come back. I mean, it's going to come back. And literally within 30 minutes, it had come back and killed another chicken. But then we permanently removed it from our area. So our chickens are safe now.
Yeah, we've not had any other problem. It's just that one that was kind of getting a little too crazy.
I hung wire over the pen to keep the hawks out. Well, we're using the Premier One fencing.
Well,
and they're in a very, very, very large area
of birds. So one of our sets, our layers, this predominantly layers, our older hens, are all in the hen boxes, basically.
Yeah, it's completely enclosed.
Yeah.
So they're fine. But it was the batch that we're going to eventually be rotating behind our animals. And they,
I'm not sure. I really don't even know. It was a beautiful bird. I mean, it really was. It was brown with some orange
underbelly.
Mixed in. Yeah,
kind of
beautiful. I mean, beautiful.
It was very beautiful, but it was very vicious.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be here.
It was taking out our chickens. Like, I'm talking y'all seconds. Come down on the chicken, ripped it, just ripped it to shreds. I mean, just like in seconds. How am I feeling with my pregnancy? Well, nights are hard. I get real sick at night. Last night and Monday night, I was really, really sick. Sunday was so-so, and Saturday morning, breakfast come up. So it's kind of on and off. I've had a really, really, really good day today. I was telling a lot of the chat, I don't think you were on here yet, Kim, but I was telling a lot of the chat, I woke up, I have felt really good today. So I picked like 4 or 5 quarts of blueberries. I've been working in the greenhouse all day. I've been pruning tomatoes.
Misty didn't really get any of the morning sickness as much.
It's night.
It's more night sickness. Right?
It's like when the sun goes down, it's like it hits me. I can't eat anything. I don't want to eat anything. And then when I don't eat, I get more sick. And it's like this vicious cycle.
See, and we're used to being a big cooker. I mean, like especially in the fall and winter, not as much as, we cook in the summer, but usually summer we're outside pretty late. But what's been unique about her being pregnant right now, we've not done big meals, even with me cooking or her cooking, just because, she don't want to smell. Like right now I was doing some homemade baked beans, and like, even if I say, she's like, bah.
I was like, oh, I don't want to smell that. Ugh.
So we hadn't been cooking a lot of big meals like we usually do. We've been doing more simple meals, which has been good for our farm, because ultimately we've been outside till 7:30 and 8 most of the time every night.
Well, you have. I have not been able to do a whole lot.
If you fried spam around me, I would probably lose it too.
Most days are so-so. It's tolerable. I do have some afternoons.
Wow, rehab life, yeah.
I do have some afternoons where I can't function because I'm so nauseated. And if I get up, and like last night was one of them, I washed some potatoes, cut them up, and dropped them in the fryer. And we were going to do basically fries with pulled pork and cheese and ranch and sour cream and just the whole 9 yards.
Pickle juice and vanilla ice cream. Misty does eat pickles. She's a pickle person.
Pickles help. Lemon juice helps.
Hey, we just did a vanilla ice cream video, so you see we do like vanilla ice cream too.
But when I could drop the French fries in the oil last night, I had to go lay down. And then when I got up and started moving around, I tried to fix some chicken noodle soup. Then I started gagging. So it's just up and down. But today has been really, really good. And tonight I feel pretty good.
75 Misty likes lemons too, and
it helps. Yeah. It helps when I put it in the water.
Hey, what she's talking about? We ate it. We ate last night. We took what she's talking about, the pulled pork. So we took pulled pork and put it on our potatoes and just fried them and made like this like loaded pork.
Basically like potato. A loaded fry.
Oh my gosh, they were amazing. Y'all have never done that? It's awesome. Now she's pregnant right now, but that's like one of our go-to meals now. Thank you I hope you liked the vanilla ice cream video. It was the bomb too. Misty's ice cream. I'm not even I don't even like sweets too much. I'm not a big sweet person. Misty's our sweet person.
It's the cream, y'all.
But it's just the cream. That ice cream. Oh my gosh.
Did you say hey? If you have access.
Hey, Albany Mountain Homestead. I'm sorry.
If you have access to a raw dairy, the cream is what makes it. I made some on Memorial Day.
He was pretty though.
And shared it with, we're used to it, and shared it with the people that, it was like some close family members that we went and swam with and stuff, and at a family pool. And they were like, I have like this film in my mouth, and I was like, it's the cream.
It's falling.
So it is really good. To me, the cream makes the difference. Mandy. But like I said on my ice cream video, if you don't have access to raw dairy, that's okay. You can still use like cream from the store. I just do like 50-50 with milk, whole milk.
We don't have we can't have cellars here, and we can't have root cellars, and we don't have any kind of,
because the humidity.
Yeah, our humidity is terrible in the South. So we actually have an upstairs room above our garage that has workout stuff and treadmill and some storage that we keep up there. That's where we actually put the potatoes. We have it has air conditioner from our house, has extra run, so it keeps it cool, and they need to stay in a cool, dry place. And we also keep a fan going pretty much a lot of the week, so that keeps our potatoes held up as much as until we get done eating them, of course.
I wouldn't say that I've craved anything specifically. Once I eat something once, I don't want it again.
That's right, like Sam. For your animals.
It's hard. What?
He said he needs some greasy milk for his animals.
That's all right.
Greasy. Creamy.
I haven't craved anything specifically. It's just like if I eat one certain thing, I don't want it anymore. It makes me I just don't want it again.
Mississippi Girl Gardening, we had to order ours from Meyer Hatchery. We could not find any local turkeys that were what we were wanting. We have Negacerets, the New Holland Whites, the Royal Palm,
Red Bourbon,
the Red Bourbon, and then broad-breasted, and then white broad-breasted. So we wanted certain turkeys, so we could not find those, in pairs, or we could not find those. We might find one here, and then one old one, then a young one. So we were able to buy ours from Meyer Hatchery.
And speaking of the turkeys, one of the things I was telling Colby is right now they're fine, but we really want them for their eggs, the heritage breed.
Right.
So I was telling him, I was like, what, when they start laying, I have to research this because we've never had laying turkeys before. Now our hens usually start laying usually at 6 months, sometimes 7-8 months. They're laying. Turkeys, I'm assuming, are the same, maybe 6 months, maybe 9 months. We'll have to look that up for sure. But anyway, when they do start laying, I don't want eggs all over the yard. So we had talked about getting if y'all know what the big batting cages look like.
Nettings from batting cages.
Right. So, the kids would go in and they would practice batting in the batting cages. So we were thinking about trying to find a used one of those. And we have a whole section in the back that we could utilize the turkeys there. So I think that once they get closer to that laying age, we really are going to put out
Albany Mountain
search for trying to get the batting cage and keep the turkeys in there so that we'll be able to get those eggs.
Yes, we can do a breakdown on those too, Sean, in Alaska. We will do it a little bit different just because we're raising the game birds with the heritage breed, and also we are raising some chickens with them too, but we do have them broke down.
Terry, I'm excited for you. It's so fun to watch them hatch.
Rehab Life, you can harvest bronze-breasted or broad-breasted, at around 16 weeks or 15 to 18 weeks. 16 weeks is what we're shooting for because that's why we planned them now so we can have them for Thanksgiving. Typically, a bird needs to be, they'll tell you, a broad-breasted can get as big as 30 and 40 and 50 pounds. We're going to try to kill dispatch around 30 pounds because we really can't handle a 50-pound bird not in our plucker. So we're going to try to take them out around,
I would say probably 40.
35 to 40, probably. Maybe 30. It's going to be before Thanksgiving, basically. So really, we're hoping by then they've gained what they need to gain because pretty much we're going to dispatch them.
The chicken breakdown was awesome. I like to put dollars to every. Yeah, it's something that a lot of people have asked us about, and we're the same way. We want to know that we want to know
nut.
Right. We want to know that it's going to be cost effective, clean, but cost effective as well. How far along in the pregnancy?
Definitely
10 and a half weeks. And I usually battle with nausea until about 15 or 16 weeks. So I have about a month and a half left. That's still a huge bird at 35 pounds.
That is.
It'll be a good size for us because Thanksgiving, that's kind of our goal is we wanted
birds for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and then we'll sell a few, but we're gonna probably put a few of them up. We have eight broad-breasted. I think we have 8 broad-breasted.
No idea since
I can't remember
since the light issue and
then we lost the ones we lost. I think was here. I can't remember. I have to go back and count. I think we have 8.
So you went and got the turkey that day. I don't know. Wait, are you eating honey? Are you talking to me, Kim?
Yes, she was talking to you. The Dunchimo was not bad as I thought. I agree with you, Sam. And again, that video I told a lot of people. There was a lady.
Farm, you're right.
There was a lady that mentioned said, "Well, am I overfeeding?" No, you're not overfeeding at all. If you're doing 24-hour feed, Jeremy was on here a while ago, and he said, they fed 24-hour feed too, and there's nothing wrong with that. One thing I realized though, if I feed more, it costs me more. So I'm getting a bigger bird, but I'm not actually making any extra headway because ultimately I might be getting a 5.5, 6 pound bird, but it costs me more to feed them. So per pound, I may not come out any better. What we've realized is our 4 pound birds or 4.5 pound birds, that feeds us. That's enough for us and the kids. And we may have a little piece left, but if we get much more than that, it's hard to keep just like a leg, or it's hard to keep just a thigh. So for us, it allows us to kind of clean our bird and pretty much go in the bone broth with the bone. So the 4.5 to 5 pounds is good for us. If we get much bigger than that, I'm not saying we won't, but then we're feeding a lot more. And I don't know if the more feeding is really giving us more bang for our buck, if you know what I'm saying. Because if we're feeding more and it's costing more per pound, just because we're getting a bigger bird, that doesn't necessarily benefit us.
All right.
So.
And Grammy Karen, thank you for posting our Amazon store. So you've seen the Amazon store come across a lot of the things that we use here on the farm. We've had, I can't tell you how many people that will email us or send us direct messages about what we use, why we use it, our thoughts on it. So we went ahead and put together Amazon store so that if you guys wanted to know anything about anything that we use on the farm, most of everything, if we have not bought local, we have bought from Amazon. So everything on Amazon is in the store, and it is broken into sections for gardens, cows, bees, everything that we've used for our bees, pigs, chickens, butchering chickens, the whole 9 yards is all in there. So if y'all have any questions about anything that's in there, all y'all have to do is let me know.
Kim, conflicting information about homesteading and about home goods and natural remedies is what we're all about. So I tell you, it's funny because
I'm also not supposed to drink raw dairy.
Well, you hear that too. You're like, people, you're not supposed to drink raw dairy. And then the next one's like, you're supposed to drink raw dairy. So we just kind of go with it. If it works for us, it works for us. And, you know, that's how it is. Fancy Farm of the Garden is looking phenomenal. We actually just left it. We were just bragging about it, to be honest with you.
Except for the hornworms that we found.
And so, again, our garden is
black like
our garden is definitely organic. We don't do anything to it. I mean, when I say nothing, I mean like it is just pure organics. So our garden starts out strong and looks good and stays looking good, but people that are using synthetic fertilizers, their gardens will outproduce us and will look better than ours through the long haul. And you know, again, there's nothing wrong with that, but for us, we hate that because we miss not having this big monster surplus. But at the same time,
our garden sacrifice that we chose.
But you know, like me and Misty were talking about this year. Last year's garden was organic, but this year's garden is even better and organic. So we're kind of looking at the Paul Gauchi thing, saying, okay, with every new year with organics, it will get better. So our goal is, I mean, like our garden's booming right now and doing phenomenal, but we're hoping every year it just gets a little better every year. Kind of like that same, you know, deep bed method, like a lasagna method, like Paul Gauchi with Back to Eden. Our goal is to just keep making it good. And we cannot
stress enough the tarp systems. Man, we just cannot today.
Cardboard.
I picked just a few weeds. Y'all, we have not weeded our garden in a week, and we
Misty pulled one piece of grass. She's like, we need to get this.
Well, it was it was just a few pieces, but I mean, it was just a few pieces. It was right in one little spot, and I mean, you just can't beat that. Yeah. So we have just seen major benefits.
Hey, Mantha Productions.
So last year what we did was the chop and drop. We chopped everything down, covered it up with a tarp. We would rotate the pigs and the chickens with sections. So we would put them in a section, cover it back up, move them, put them in a section, cover it back up. And we pretty much did that up and down the whole garden. And we just cannot tell y'all. We've seen just major benefits from that.
Talking about the chemicals, and again, no problem for people. You are using chemicals again. I'm not saying anything about it, but when you look at the dead zones in the Gulf of Mexico, and you look at the dead zones at the bottom of Florida, in the Gulf of Mexico is the Mississippi runoff from the fertilizers and synthetics on a single crop rotations versus doing what we're doing and doing what smaller homesteads are doing, what permaculture teaches. It's amazing. So we hope it doesn't.
You will be blown away.
And when we don't organically do it, remember organics is all about water preservation in our soil. So if we're tilling our ground up and we're putting out synthetic chemicals, all that's just a wash off, and that drainage is going straight into our rivers, which rivers go into the Gulf, and we have this big dead zone right there at the Mississippi Louisiana line.
Also, tilling, a lot of people will put tilling in saying, I'm breaking up my soil, I'm making it looser, but ultimately it's actually compacting the soil. Over time, it's just compacting, and that causes soil erosion, because when the water comes in, it can't seep down into the soil. So when it floods, it erodes the soil because it's so compacted. Does that make sense to y'all? I've done a lot of studying on tilling versus no tilling, because we were doing a big seminar on no-till garden. So I began to research the effects of tilling on the ground, and basically in a nutshell, the tilling is it's breaking up the soil, but it's compacting the soil over time. It compacts, and it causes erosion because the water can't seep down enough, so it causes erosion. And we've experienced that ourselves, of how that works with the soil erosion. So that's ultimately what happens, and that's
Fancy Farmer.
That's crazy.
If you buy something from a big box store like Home Depot or Walmart, there's nothing wrong with that. The only thing is, if you're buying some kind of bag mulch, or I'd say if you're needing acidity, you need to buy pine straw, or go just find somebody's got pine straw.
Thank you, Mississippi Garden.
Be careful about buying from big box stores. Look at what it's made of. See where your local grower is of that bark. Like our mulch, even at our Home Depot and Walmart, we have a big mulcher that does that here in our area. He sells to all these local places, so ours is still local. So if you can't buy it from a big place that has a local, a place to provide it, just make sure there's no chemicals in that, and no coloring, no dyes. I tell you, stay with probably natural hardwood mulch if you're having to buy it in bags. I think that'd be wiser. Or either a pine bark mulch that is just raw. I mean, just straight up raw.
Okay, Moonfarn, I read your comment a few minutes ago about having the breech pregnancy. I have never had a breech pregnancy.
Correct, rehab life.
Unfortunately, the doctors that are local to our town are very traditional medicine. So I would immediately be put as a C-section with a breech baby. Now, I will tell you this. I have a really, really good friend of mine who she joins our chat sometimes, and she's very active in our hangout page, our Homestead hangout page. And her baby, yep. So I'm hoping for a last minute flip. Hers did exactly that. She's now on her 6th pregnancy. She is due this month or next month. I think she's due next month. But her 5th pregnancy flipped like at the last minute. And it was a really good thing it did because she had her baby at home. She went into labor. She
delivered it herself.
She was at home and she went into labor, and she's like 35 to 40 minutes from our local hospital. And she called 911 because she was at home alone. It was like 2:00 in the morning. And she went into labor and she delivered it before the ambulance could get there. It was like in 15 minutes. But it did flip like right at the end. It was like days before delivery, but he did flip.
Thank you, Grammy Karen.
He and Jennings are 3 months apart. So
so again,
she was pretty close with that.
Tell us what's going on your farms. Are you adding more animals? Have you had any animals come on the farm? Have you had any born? Is your gardens jamming?
Who's getting? Hey, I saw some little broussard. Y'all are gonna get some rain from that storm too.
Yeah, we're getting it too.
Them Louisiana folks. I think that's the only people I've seen in here from Louisiana. But y'all are gonna be getting some of that storm too if it continues to head in the direction that it's going. Grammy Karen said trying to get the garden dried out, finish planting.
We've done 2 butchers already this year. We have 2 more already set up. Our next set of birds will be June 25th for the next set of Cornish, and then we're doing some Red Rangers or Freedom Rangers in August.
We're adding our first meat chickens. Definitely preparing for the storm. Yeah,
we're with you, Broussards. Our garden is looking great. Awesome, Mantha Productions. Ours is too. We've been very pleased this year.
We're getting storms tonight.
Yeah, Sonny's Place, and y'all are in Sonny's Place. Are you in Texas? Am I dreaming? Y'all might be getting some of that too. I know Steph T5 is as well.
Camping this weekend. That sounds like fun. Camping at the Stivers.
Hey, Bandana Grandma, how are you?
That sounds like fun. Thank you for dropping in. I love to see you doing stuff with your kids and grandkids. It's very special.
We don't actually do radish. We grew radishes last year for some reason. We don't even eat them, and we grew them and grew a mass load of radishes. And me and Misty talked. We're like, "Are we gonna save seeds?" And we were both like,
we don't really eat.
We don't eat them. Like I cut some up in salads.
But what you'll need to do is let it. They have bolted. Let it flour.
That's right.
The flour will produce seeds, and then when the whole thing looks completely dead, get the seeds,
It'll take a while for it to bolt too. So it's got to grow some height.
You want to collect on a day has not rained. Make sure they're good and dry. If it has rained and that's the only time you can get it, just make sure you lay them out and let them dry before you put them up.
That's right, Sonny's place. I'm sorry, Missouri. Could not remember. Mississippi Girl Garden. We also use fish emulsion as well.
I use rabbit droppings. You know, we discussed getting rabbits. I don't think feeding rabbits just for fertilizer would be
just viable for us.
Worth it. And we don't eat rabbit. Well, I guess Colby would, but I ain't trying it when I'm pregnant.
I ain't trying.
So maybe once I'm not pregnant, I could cook a rabbit right now.
Fancy Farmer, we don't really have as much tick problems as we used to. Mosquitoes, Misty makes
a mosquito spray.
Mm-hmm. What is it? I know it's lemongrass based, and
I use a lot of citric essential oils, peppermint, lavender. You can use lemongrass, citronella, eucalyptus.
Eucalyptus and
citronella was our two. You can use witch hazel as a main base with water. You can't really go wrong.
But if you're staying with the citronella,
I actually seen that 1800s Homestead do a video on it, and she used vodka. So there's several different bases that you could use.
Awesome, Gene Treadaway. Got some goats from Reap What You Sow.
There's a lot of essential oils that you can use that are very, very good repellents. You do have to reapply them. If you're sweating, you get rained on, whatever, you'll have to reapply them pretty frequently.
So Stacy has got a few meat rabbits for their fertilizer.
That's awesome.
Radishes, everybody must be like booming with some radishes because that's the conversation. Broussard has butchered 6 rabbits, 5 more to go. Let's see.
You can recipes for gnats. We do flies, but I wouldn't say gnats. We don't have a major gnat problem.
We really don't.
I butchered 6 rabbits, 5 more to go. That's awesome. Did you already read that?
Yeah, where you been, girl? Golly.
I don't read in order. I just make them all up.
Yes, we don't have rabbits, and so thank you for saying that. So if you have rabbits, don't use eucalyptus because JNC says it will kill them. So don't use that.
Really?
We all know that. We don't have them.
I was thinking of ticks on people, not ticks on animals. So that when I said all those oils, I was referring to using them on people. Right, not on animals. But we do use
our natural
several sprays for the cows. But peppermint oil is not one you ever want to use lactating with any lactating mamas.
That's right.
So just throwing that out there if y'all don't know a whole lot about essential oils. They're really, really good to use. I highly suggest to do your research when it comes to essential oils because they can burn your skin. Eucalyptus and peppermint are 2 that are considered hot oils. So don't ever use those without diluting them with a carrier, just for your information.
We're huge essential oil people. We really are.
I'm mainly cleaning.
Misty's legit on it.
Mainly cleaning. That's my favorite. I love to diffuse.
Did you make a mosquito? You didn't make a mosquito spray. We do have a dewormer, natural dewormer video spray. What else did you make that had spray?
A dewormer? You smell a fly spray?
No, we did the fly spray. Yeah, well, we did dewormer video, then we did a fly spray video for the cows.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, that's the one we did. That was our first, second 3-minute Thursday. But I don't think we made one on mosquitoes.
No, I have not.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things like sunscreen. I make my own sunscreen, and it's really easy to do. I need to do that kind of stuff too, especially now that it's summer. I think the bottle is outside. Harley, would you go get our sunscreen bottle? I think it's right there.
Hey,
turn the alarm off. I think it's right there on the on the back porch. You'll have to turn the light on.
No, we don't. We have red wasp every once in a while, Sam. They kind of leave us alone. We leave them alone. We really don't have any issues with them. Our little greenhouse will usually get a wasp nest in it some form or fashion, but we really don't have any problem with them. If I'm gonna get stung, it's gonna be by my honeybees.
Yeah.
Hey, what? Yesterday, I forgot to tell this story. We didn't do really a video on it. You'll see a clip of it. So Thank you, Grammy Karen.
Thank you so much.
Hey, did you send that? Did you?
I did.
Okay, yeah. So thank you so much, Grammy Karen. You rock as always. Hey, Molly. I'll tell you this. Look how cool this was yesterday. So I got a call from a guy named Russ. He owns Carter Land Solutions here in our town. He said, "Hey, man, I've got a situation where I'm doing some clearing. He owns a land clearing company, so some of the people in this area may know who he is. But he said, I'm clearing some land for an old goat farm, and I have got an issue." I said, what's the deal? And I'm thinking, why are you calling me about land clearing? I mean, I know nothing about land clearing.
They found hidden.
A guy had 3 beehives.
How cool was that?
In the woods. Well, it wasn't woods. It was a goat field. But this place, he got foreclosed on or dilapidated. He left, and these hives have been here for 3 years, untouched, just survivor bees. Well, they fell over. So they just this hive had been just laying down. It's a Landstroth hive. It was just laying on the ground, busted. I mean, it was in terrible shape. But these bees were jamming. I mean, they were unbelievable amount of bees. So he called and said, I can't finish this project because there's bees everywhere. Will you come and get these bees? So he called us. He called Alderman Farms, if you've watched them. Tommy just couldn't get to it. So he said, will you come get them? So we went over there yesterday, spent like 2 hours getting them. But it was, or more. Misty and them went with me, and they were probably thinking, what am I doing? Because they stayed in the truck the whole time. But
I did not feel good.
Unbelievable.
I love to get out and helping, but I was like green facing it yesterday.
What's up, single dad? Hey, Chris, how are you, man?
All right. Steph T5 said, no, Stacy said, we have a massive red wasp nest in our attic last year. During the winter, I had 2 bats also living in the attic, and they are the whole thing. Haven't seen any more. Did I read that wrong?
Wait.
They ate the whole thing, I think is what it meant. So we haven't seen any more yet.
Homestead engraving business life. He's had honeybees for 4 weeks, and he hasn't got stung yet. How long before you get stung?
It's coming.
Man, your bees, they don't like you enough to sting you yet. I mean, that's what it is. You got to build this relationship. It's like a come and go thing. Just they're going to eat you alive one day.
No, honestly, I've never been stung by any of our bees.
Once.
Here.
Yeah, here.
Here. They love Colby. Like, they really love Colby.
It's because I'm so sweet. That's what it is.
Now, up where we had our other apiary, our bees were getting in.
Amy, thank you.
Thank you, Amy. That was so sweet.
Y'all don't have to do that. Thank you so very much, Amy Wall.
At our other apiary. They were getting into something, some type of grass spray, mosquito spray. People just don't know, and they just spray. And our bees were literally going nuts, so nuts that our Colby's parents' barn
That's where our big bee herd is. If y'all know,
way far away from where we had our hives. They were so crazy. They were flying all the way to the barn and like attacking us. So Colby's dad got stung multiple times, and that's what Harley got stung. Aiden got stung. Colby got stung a bunch, and I got stung in the head, right up here in the top of the head.
Nobody worries about Colby getting stung because it happens all the time.
But anyway, they were just going crazy. But that's really the only time that one has just like come at me. So it might be a personality thing that they just really like him.
That's sweet.
So maybe you won't get stung if they haven't bothered you yet. Maybe you won't get stung, but they get Colby good through suits. Man, they go up his pants leg, up in his boots. Just, man, he got hit. The last one was here, and his eye was swollen up. I mean, it was terrible.
Yeah, I do. I
wanted to show them this. Here's the sunscreen. I don't think y'all can see my label on there, but this is some extra that I made last year for some of our customers, and it still held up. It still held up really well. I use it. The base of it is coconut oil. I have to remember. I haven't made any since last year. Cocoa butter.
That's not the one with citric acid. That's for the baby booty cream, isn't it?
It's called diaper rash cream.
Baby booty cream is what our kids call it.
It has bentonite clay in it.
Yeah, bentonite clay. I could not think of what I was looking for.
Zinc oxide, which is actually what repels the sun. It has beeswax in it, so it has a lot of beeswax in it, so it's extremely waterproof. I would have to pull it has lavender in it. I would have to pull my exact.
Us too.
I would have to pull my exact recipe out for it, but it smells really good. It reminds me of chocolate because it's got that cocoa butter in it. But I use it on my kids all the time because it does not have all the chemicals. We do try to avoid the sun between that like 11 to 1 because it is so brutal here. But we love our homemade sunscreen, and it's really easy to make. I really want to put y'all a video out on that.
Have we not done the sunscreen?
No, I made diaper rash cream.
Baby booty cream.
That's what we call it here is baby booty cream, but the proper term would be diaper rash cream.
We do sell our honey local. We have sent some places, but it's hard to send liquid or perishable things via mail on honey.
So,
hey, no worries at all. We literally came in running, ate real quick from the garden as well. Me and Misty were doing the garden work.
I was so excited to be able to go outside today and just work because I like to go and do. I mean, I'm a constant hands-on. I like to be doing something. When I'm so nauseated and I'm just laying around, that's just not my cup of tea. I just don't do well mentally with that. So I was so glad that I got to go out today and do some stuff. Outside is my place.
Hey, I didn't get stung though. I forgot to say that. I did not get stung on these bees yesterday.
Brizard is having to get into their hives tomorrow, weather permitting.
Yeah.
Don't do it on a cloudy day, FYI, because they
don't like me on cloudy
do not
days. Like this one I got yesterday. It really needed to be redone and put in bigger boxes, but it started thundering. It was like 7:30 when we actually got done, and I tell you what,
they were crazy.
I was scared that it was going to get crazy, especially because we needed to get it closed up. So we closed them up. Actually, I have to go back and work that hive probably tomorrow, the next day.
I do think that the bees
butt paste. That sounds so gross.
I do think that the bees will do well. I do think that they will do well because if they don't swarm, because they are wild bees and they are used to being in the survival mode.
You like it.
So I think they'll do well.
Yeah, I just hope they don't leave. I'm worried because I don't have the box set up like I like it. I'm OCD about my bee boxes, so it's in 2 deeps, but their hive bodies are destroyed. Their foundations are destroyed, but they have a lot of brood on there. If you know bees, I'm sorry I'm getting nerdy with my bee talk, but I can't really put good foundations.
Bee babies.
I can't put good foundation in there because all their brood, their babies, and their nectar and pollen is all on these dilapidated old frames. So I've got them kind of wedged in there for right now. And what I'm gonna do is take another deep and add good stuff in there and see if I can get them up. And then I'm gonna start checkerboarding as I go.
And eventually those bee babies will hatch out. Yeah. And if she doesn't go and lay new babies in there, we'll be able to take those out. Hopefully they'll start building on the new, better quality stuff is hopefully the goal. So
Organic Raw Roots Farm, Cal is doing great. Evie is doing good. We saw her the other day. She is she's grown. She's done really good. So she's looking healthier and healthier every day we get to see her. So we don't get to see her daily because we keep her with our beef herd.
Right.
So we usually try to see them once or twice a week, and I usually go up there, ride by them, just make sure they're doing okay. And then, like Misty said, sometimes we're up there with family, so we'll check on them pretty regular as well.
All right. Grammy Karen said, "Can't remember your daughter's name. Tell Grammy Karen your name."
This is our oldest daughter, our second child.
Tell them again.
Hailey.
How do you spell it?
Harlee.
That's right.
She's
your
pretty
family
like
is a fresh air in the world of farm. So, well, thank you, Grammy Karen.
No, my dad is not a farmer, fancy farmer.
Look around and just all the chaos. It's so sad to see chaos everywhere. And, I think our family just says we have to pray through it right now.
You know what I've learned is, we from 4 to 9 at 9 and 10, and Aiden standing over here with our chores and stuff. We enjoy being together, so it's always fun to be together, and we don't really.
Well, and it's hard for us.
We just enjoy being on the farm.
So. Yeah, and it's hard for us to just stop and just sit down and just. That's why we feel like we miss so many lives, and we miss like the times that we do sit down and watch the British Baking Show. It's usually at like 9 o'clock at night, and we watch that because the kids really enjoy it. But that's really it. Sundays afternoons after we watch our church service on TV, we do the chores that have to be done, and then just kind of rest in. And we've watched some of the shows on that, but
she doesn't really care.
It's so there's so much to always do.
Homestead engraving business life. What if your queen is in the top box? We've had this happen. The queen excluder is in between the boxes, then I would think she would want to start laying there. She will. Mm-hmm. Here's what you do. You take your excluder out, move it to the top of that box so she can't, and watch her lay. If she's laying in the 2 or 3, you need to start checkerboarding those down to the big deeps, even though they're small, shallow frames. Checkerboard them to the big deeps. Let the brood start getting normal back into the first and second deep boxes. We do a 2 deep box hives, and she'll eventually go back down. If you find her, bring her down. But if you can't find her, because it's hard to find the queen sometimes, you'll see where she's been laying because she's going to have active new babies in there, uncapped brood. Get them on down because you don't. I'm not saying you don't want it, but when you do an all natural hive and let her come and let her go all the way throughout those boxes, you're going to have a lot of honey that doesn't get used because she's going to have brood next to them and you're not going to be able to get to it.
All right.
So you learn to separate her. That's why we do a double deep.
You want her to lay in the bottom, and then you want the ones to work the honey in the top, so you can take that honey and not disturb the bee babies.
And see, not that I'm against anybody that does single. Not that I don't do anything against people that do single deeps, but we do double deeps, so it gives her a lot of honey for the winter. Because we do not supplement feed either.
Hey, Carly.
Hello, Carly. How are you?
There's the other little rascal.
No, you don't want to get rid of any comb. We never get rid of comb. Our comb either goes to bait a new hive, or we lay it in front of the hive and let them clean it up. We do. We have some mediums, Broussard. We usually do 2 deeps, and then we do 2 shallows. We have a few deeps that we've just kind of a few mediums that we've come across. Now we do a 9-frame honey super. Our shallows are 9-frame, so it builds out comb better and has a better quality.
Karen said, "Hey, you other little rascal." She is a rascal. We call her Sassy Cassie.
Yeah, Sunny's place, definitely. Hey, Lazy C, how are you? Well, let's see.
She's got her blankie. She's tired.
Yeah, we do 9 frames. We have a few that's 10, but most of ours are 9. All right. Well, I think we are going to wrap it up. We are getting close to, well, we actually are at the 9 o'clock hour. Fancy Farmer, just to hit, we always say that. And
do you allow your children to watch TV? We do not have satellite or cable. We watch the
stuff that we know.
We watch the air TV, but we still even have to monitor that because I've heard some songs that sing some language that we don't personally agree with. So I have to be very careful with even what they listen to on some of those shows. But we do a lot of DVD playing for them when they are just in the living room.
Stuff on Roku.
That's right. Yeah, we stream on Roku sometimes. That's right.
Yeah. Every now and then, just like our TV has not been
on
all day today until like late this afternoon. My kids are such busybodies anyway. I have one that will just lay down and watch TV all day if I let her. Okay. And then Aiden really likes to watch TV, but everything that we do is very monitored.
Sam, keep watching the Max. That family is a good family. All right. Yes. So we do watch we watch more DVDs. We watch things that we can monitor very, very well. So, hey, Brad, thank you for coming on. We're actually coming off now, but thank you for coming on. I know you're probably traveling somewhere. We try to stay away from
our TV
negativity. We used to watch news. I used to be bad at watching news, but now I don't watch news. I'll usually get about a 5 or 10 minute
I get upset,
and that's about it.
It weighs on me all day, and then that weighs on my attitude and my behavior towards my kids. So I don't watch it at all. I know that's probably bad. I depend on Colby to tell me most of the stuff.
I usually find out what's going on, and then we get out of it.
I can't. It weighs on me. I carry that stuff around with me all day, and I just can't. I treat everybody the same, and I can't.
I tell you what makes it so nice is we in the mornings when I milk, I usually listen to a podcast or listen to a minister of some sort, but that's really helped my day be better. I used to listen to news and it, like Missy said, I would almost get stressed out. Like and it's not that I can help, but it's like all the negativity just made me stressed for the rest of the day. So when I started to listen to more positivity and more positive podcasts and the more ministry based things with my cows, it really made a huge difference. So that's what we've kind of got.
We haven't had regular TV in 6 years. That's about how long we have not had regular TV.
Yeah, because it's been since we moved here.
Because we sold our house and paid for our vehicles, bought a camper, lived in our camper while we built our house. That was fun. And we didn't have TV. All we had was the little air.
Oh gosh, Kim,
you're right. Air TV that we picked up. So when we moved in our house, we were like,
do we need it?
We can't start paying $150 again for TV that we don't even let our kids watch half of the stuff on there. And then the commercials, in my opinion, are X-rated. So we just decided not.
Well, I hope you're watching from
the
hospital. I hope that you're not in the hospital. I hope you're just there. So
I work for a police department. No getting away from bad behavior.
Well, be careful out there, Kim.
Please be careful. Well, thank y'all so much for joining us tonight and for those awesome donations. That was very, very kind
y'all sure
of
don't
you
have
guys.
To do that. And yeah.
Stays to worship music.
That's very good. Ours does too. Thank y'all again for coming on. And like I said, y'all be careful. Nathan, if you're in the hospital, I hope you get better.
Oh no.
Kim, you be safe doing what you're doing. And thank y'all again for all y'all do and coming on with us and hanging out with our family. It can get kind of crazy around here, but we enjoy it. So
we love getting on and being able to talk to y'all in the afternoons. It's really a blessing to be able to do that.
Yes, and if y'all have ideas for videos, if y'all like to see more things like Misty was talking about with the bug spray, let us know. We're always open. I promise you, we have content always because we're always doing something. But if there's something you like to see better, let us know. If it's a certain animal that you want to see or certain vegetables or how-tos or what. Misty's a lot prettier on camera, so if you want to see her a lot more, just tell her we'll act like I'm doing it and she'll be really doing it. So all right. Crazy. Thank y'all so much for coming on, and we'll try to do more bee videos and see what comes up of them.
Happy homesteading, y'all.
Happy homesteading, y'all.